Hello and welcome to This Week Those Books. I'm Rashmi Roshan Lal. This week we've been thinking about Iran. Israel attacked Iran on June 13, and there is a risk of catastrophic escalation of the conflict. What's striking is the lack of international sympathy for hapless Iranians on whom bombs are suddenly falling. So we're asking, who cares about Iran? What do people know about the country other than the caricature? I mean, the AI generated image of the angry ayatollah you can see on the page. In order to understand more about Iran, we looked at three books. One delves into the imperial forces that have shaped Iran. The second looks at recent regional events. And a 1970s satire gave us a sense of the life of ordinary Iranians. So, to our first book, Iran and Global Decolonization, Politics and Resistance After Empire. It's a collection of essays, and it's co-edited by Firoozeh Kashani Sabit and Robert Steele. It was published in 2023. The book explores Iran's role in global decolonization movements while acknowledging the strange dichotomy of its position. Iran wasn't formally colonized, but subject to various forms of imperialism in the modern period. Imperial powers, not least the Ottomans, Russia, and Britain, often violated Iran's sovereignty. Britain was up to its usual tricks, just as in its colonies. In 1872, Britain gave a sweetheart deal to the German-born British entrepreneur Paul Julius Reuter, founder of the Reuters news agency, to control all of Iran's roads, telegraph, factories and mills, public works, and natural resources. The agreement was considered so outrageous it had to be annulled. It was Anglo-Russian imperial aggression that crushed Iranians' 1906 revolution against their despotic kings and their effort to establish constitutional rule based on humanism and humanitarianism. During World War II, despite the first Shah of Iran declaring his country's neutrality, a British and Soviet invasion forced him into exile. This was because the Shah refused to kowtow to the Allies' demands and expel all Germans. Kashani Sabet writes, Iran's post-war politics became shaped around the humiliating experiences of imperialism and occupation. Our second book is Black Wave, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the 40-year rivalry that unraveled culture, religion, and collective memory in the Middle East. It's by Kim Khattas and was published in 2020. The book starts with this quote from the Roman Senator Tacitus: "Where they make a wasteland, they call it peace." Kim Khattas, a former BBC and Financial Times correspondent, has offered an insightful portrait of how the modern Middle East has been shaped by three major events that occurred in 1979. These were the Iranian Revolution, the siege of the Holy Mosque in Mecca by Saudi zealots, and the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Our last book is a novel, My Uncle Napoleon by Raj Pezeshkazad. It was published in Farsi in 1973 and in English in 1996. This sharp satire is considered one of Iran's modern classics. Set in the 1940s, when Iran's political stance was constantly under British scrutiny, the story is told by an unnamed 13-year-old boy. He tells of his dear uncle Napoleon. Uncle had left the police service, a relatively low-ranking officer, but regularly recounts a supposedly glorious career of opposition to the English. In each of the skirmishes, which eventually evolve in Uncle's telling into battles, he references Napoleon, whom he greatly admires. It's a wonderful story and had us chuckling every so often. That's it for the moment. Thanks for listening. Until the next time, bye-bye.